In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a toilet fill valve and flapper. First thing you want to do before anything else is make sure you have this bucket under your toilet because you're going to lose some water and you don't want it all over your floor, of course. To begin, let's turn off the shutoff valve that's next to the toilet. Next step is to take off the lid. Now flush the toilet and be sure to get out all the water that you can. If the flapper goes down a little bit early like it did on me, just pull it up again and let as much water out as you can. Once that's done, underneath the toilet you'll notice two plastic nuts. Unscrew the larger one first and then the smaller lock nut. You may need a pair of channel pliers to loosen them up if they're too tight. Next, we will disconnect the refill tube from the overflow tube. Now you can just pull that toilet fill valve right out of the tank and the water will spill out into your bucket. Now it's time to install the new valve. There's a little washer that came with the new one. You need to put that on first with the flat side up against the flat side of the other plastic end, just like that. Next, I'm going to attach the refill tube. You can just push the tube onto the valve there. It may take a little work, but you'll get it. You'll insert the other end of that tube onto a clip, and then that clip will clip right onto the overflow tube. I'm going to show you here how it clips onto the tube. However, you don't want to clip it on yet. There are still a few things we need to do. The first thing we need to do is look at this line here. This is the critical water level. This line needs to be about 1 inch above the overflow tube. Now I will say when I installed this one, you can see my overflow tube is pretty tall and I didn't want to cut it. So I actually didn't install it so that the critical water line was 1 inch above that, and it's been just fine. However, if you can get the critical water line 1 inch above the tube, do it. And here's how you do it. You pull it out and then you twist the bottom there and it will make it longer so that you can get it above that tube. So just keep working with it until it's in the right spot. Now let's install the flapper. The flapper is pretty easy. To take it off, all you have to do is kind of pull up on it and it will snap out of those little notches, those little arms on the end. And then just snap the new one into place and you'll take the chain and attach the chain to the lever. You'll want about a ½ inch of slack on that chain. Okay, we're on the home stretch now. You'll want to make sure that your fill valve is in there and that the fill tube is attached to that overflow tube with the clip. So once you have everything in place, we'll go to the bottom of the toilet again. Now when I pulled out the fill valve, that little tubing came out as well. And so we'll take this tubing and we'll put it back into the new fill valve. We'll put the lock nut on and make sure that that nut is tight. You want to tighten it with your fingers and then maybe about a half turn with some channel lock pliers. And then you'll put the larger nut on and then maybe get your channel lock pliers and tighten that a little bit as well. That's it. You're pretty much ready to go. Now just turn on the water and test it to make sure it's all good. That's it. Works perfect. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time you need a little help with one of these at-home projects. Thanks a lot.